Today, we're going to answer a question from our Discord server on the IRS form W-4, and it's really a two-part question. It's what do you do with the child tax credit calculations? And the other one is sort of this misunderstanding of how the W-4 actually works. So let's go ahead and clarify both of these. But again, if you have questions, go to our Discord server. We can work with you, kind of give you guidance and a little bit of help on our Discord server. Of course, go ahead and post in the comments on the YouTube channel as well. But here's the question, or here's how the question started out. I need help. I'm married filing jointly, and I want the max taxes taken out. I did it once, but they had me as exempt. Please help. And then the question goes on further to say, what I'm confused about is where you multiply your dependents and put the final amount. I actually want to claim 1 or even 0. And okay, we have all the information that we need. Here's the first thing. Let's tackle the child tax credit, what I would call almost a trap or a huge mistake. So here is the W-4 for 2023. Now, if you have an online version, it's not a big deal. This is the paper version. You're just getting your answers and plugging it into your online version. And by online version, I mean your employer's portal to enter this information in. So if you have one of those, you could still use this. Just take the information and put it on. Otherwise, you're actually going to submit this to your employer. This does not get submitted to the IRS. Okay. So let's take a look at this child tax credit section. And I really wish the IRS would actually change it completely, but they haven't. They haven't watched one of my videos and they haven't listened to me yet. So it says claim dependents and other credits. Other credits are all other tax credits. Really, step 3 should be called your tax credit section and not make it look like this is only for child and dependent credits, because it is not. So here's why that's important. If you look at it, what most people do is they're saying, oh, well, it says if your income is below 200,000, okay, mine is, so that's what we're going to go with. And multiply the number of qualifying children under 17 by 2,000, and they put the number in there. So let's say you have 2. That's what this question asks. I have 2 kids, so should I put 4,000? So it's fine to put 4,000 there and then multiply the number of dependents by 500. Let's say that was 0, so we put 0 there. But then it says add the amounts above for the qualifying children and other dependents. So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to add the 4,000 to 0 because that's what it says. Yes, that is what it says, but it's completely wrong. You shouldn't do that. I don't even know why they even have the wording in there. They should actually get rid of it. And the reason is because this is your entire taxable situation. But not only that, let's say you had no other tax credits whatsoever. You're like, you know what? I only had the child tax credit. That is it. There's no other credits I'm going to qualify for. So shouldn't I just put that number in there? No, because the online estimator can also make an adjustment to your withholdings and adjust that number so you're withholding the correct amount. That is really the biggest thing you need to understand, the correct amount. So here is, I'm going to pull up the online estimator to show you the second part of this, why so many people get confused on this. So let me pull it up. Let's go to the online estimator, which I already went and just threw in a bunch of numbers. But here's what I want to bring your attention to. So I filled that as married filing jointly. That's sort of irrelevant. If you're single or if you're head of household, that's perfectly fine too. But let's look at the income and withholding section. And that's that second section right here. We're going to scroll down and I just want to show you, and I just made all these numbers up, but look at right here. I'm putting in our wages and how much we're withholding. So enter the wages or salary per pay period. I just stuck in 7,500 there and year to date 4,000, whatever. And then I'm saying enter federal taxes paid per pay period, $3,000. Enter the federal taxes paid year to date. So it knows what we paid year to date. I put in $555. Where would you get this information? Let's just pause there. Where would you get this information? You'd get it from your last pay stub, not some random pay stub that you have, but the last one. And if you don't have the last one, wait until you get the next one before you fill this out, if you can. Then once you get that information, plug it in. That is where the information would really come from. But again, I'm just showing this for so you can understand it. So I'm just plugging in whatever numbers. Now, after we do all that, you're going to go through this and say, okay, this applies to me, this doesn't. Deduction, standard deduction, great, let's move on. Taxes, whatever, we chose whatever taxes we qualify for. Then on this last page, this is where there's a huge misunderstanding on the IRS Form W-4. This is your expected tax withholding. And I put in a really high number. So it's $69,555. This means that if I don't change my IRS Form W-4, that we can expect, given that the pay was $7,500 per pay period on our withholdings, that we're going to withhold $69,555 if we do nothing, okay? And it's saying based on how much I'm actually earning and the taxable situation that I put in to the online estimator, that we'd actually only have to pay $23,351. That means we're going to get a refund of $46,204. What I think most people think, maybe I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. I think that most people think that a refund is just a way that you can do your taxable situation that gets a refund. And that's not true. What this is this is the number you're going to pay. You're going to pay $23,351 in this situation, no matter how much or how little you withhold on your taxes. So if we said, you know what, I want to withhold even more, we could. But at the end of the day, when you go to do your taxes, and this is the situation, it's going to show $23,351 is your taxable situation. Now, if you paid too much, then you're going to get a refund. If you didn't pay enough, you're going to have to pay into your taxes. You're going to have to pay the IRS the difference. That's how taxes work. So to say that necessarily you want to know what you need to do to get the biggest refund possible, that's actually not what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is reduce your taxable situation, your overall taxable situation, and then that is the amount that you should withhold. So you really want to be as accurate as possible. Now, if you're worried, you're saying, you know what, I'm fearful because I don't plan to have a tax liability. And if I do, then I might not have any money to pay for it. Okay, well, come into the IRS Form W-4 then periodically and to make sure that you're withholding enough. And then you can make those adjustments as necessary if it's off. If it's saying, hey, you're going to have to actually pay in, you're not withholding enough, then submit a new IRS Form W-4 to your employer. That will get adjusted on the next paycheck. So the impact to you won't be as great, rather than maybe messing it up early in the year and not actually looking at it and then being fearful that you're going to have to pay at the end of the year. So remember, you're giving the government a free loan. You're better off just sticking this in a savings account or checking your savings account that's getting 0.001, because that's 0.001 more than you would have had if you got a big refund. So, and those rates are going up now, so you can get even more. So it's even more beneficial to be as accurate as possible. Don't just blindly go in and try to get a refund. Try to reduce your taxable situation is what you're really trying to do. So I hope this has helped. Let me know in the comments down below and join our Discord server. If you have questions, we can be a little bit more interactive because we can actually post screenshots and whatnot. So you're going to hear me talk more about that, the Discord server. So hopefully this has helped. If it has, let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.